Okay? We got trust this week, okay? I'm gonna give you a little backstory, okay? Last spring, Isaiah came into my room and he said to me, Coach, can we talk? I was like, sure. He said to me, he goes, I have a problem. And I go, what's that? And he said, he believes that the coaches don't live by the core values. And I said, well, which core value is that? And Isaiah said, trust. And I said, well, how is that? And he goes, well, there's some of us on the team that think that you don't trust us to play. Right? You don't trust us to play. And I said back to him, I said, is that kind of a no-win situation for us, for the coaches? And he goes, well, how do you mean? And I said, well, if I choose you to start or be the guy, then the guy that didn't go, could he say that I don't live by the core value? So it's kind of a no-win situation by using trust as a core value of playing time, right? We talked about it a little bit at the fall meeting or at the beginning of this year about trust. So it's kind of ironic that I switched and didn't know I was getting trust and got Isaiah and we got trust, okay? So we're gonna talk a little about what trust is, okay? I wanna know out here, before I give you my explanation, define trust. Who wants the shot? Anybody? Mushi.
Putting responsibility into someone's hands or something, I guess.
Okay. Anybody else got something? Michael.
Like knowing or believing that someone else or something else has your back or like is there for you.
Knowing that friends who whatever you tell them, they'll keep secret from others.
They won't keep secrets from others. One more. Chip.
Relying on somebody else to do something.
Okay, relying on somebody else to do something. Okay, all those are good answers. Okay, here we got, first I'm going to give you some components of trust. First, character, to have high integrity, values, and morality. What does that mean?
Believe in yourself and like be positive.
Right. Okay, anybody else got something? Uppy?
Stay true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself, okay? Is it easier to trust somebody who is honest, okay, does the right things all the time, okay, and is a good person in general? It is, right? Okay, that's how we can be more trustworthy, right? Number two, competency, ability to do something successful or efficiently. What does that mean? Anybody know what that means? Johnny?
Being able to complete tasks in a well-managed.
Right. That's what it means. It means that we're able to actually complete the task. If I told you right now that I could go out and I could pick up Pickle's truck, would you trust me to do that? No, I mean, it's not even something that I could really do. Kurt?
Well, in football terms, just trusting the man next to you to do his job.
Yep, the guy next to you has to be competent, okay? Commitment, follow through and be dedicated. What does that mean as a component of trust?
When you say something, you're actually gonna do it, you're not gonna just keep saying it over and over.
Right.
Not skipping practices.
Not skipping practices. Yep. Kurt?
Like consistent trust.
Consistent trust. Yep. I mean, there are plenty of things that we do in football that require dedication, right? One of them is waking up early in the morning, going to the weight room, learning your playbook, right? Knowing your assignments, okay? Connection, ability to develop relationships with other people. What do you think that means as part of trust? if I don't have any relationship with you, is there any reason to trust you? Like, there's probably hundreds of people around this school that I have no idea who they are. So is there any trust between those people? No, so you have to be able to develop a relationship with somebody in order to develop trust, okay? How about compassion, okay? To think outside yourself and care for other people. What does that have to do with trust? What do you think?
Put your team's goals in front of your own.
Yep, put your team's goals in front of your own, okay?
I was just being selfless.
Okay, yep, being selfless.
You can trust your teammates to be good outside of a, like, weight room or practice and like shows that you're a good person or your football team's good.
Yep. Okay, clarity leads to having a mission and vision that is understood. Okay? What does that mean? You've probably heard this a lot. Okay? Clarity. Yep.
Trusting the process.
Yep, exactly. Trusting the process, okay? We all know what that is, and we want to be the best team and the best people we can be. Win or lose, right? Okay? I mean, I'd like to win every single game, right? That's everybody's dream, is to win every single game. But the truth of the matter is, there's always better teams, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, okay? But the goal here is to make ourselves the best team that this team can be, right? And still, try to be better people, okay? Contribution. Johnny,
It says like to advance something, it's like on the field or on offense, if everybody doesn't do your job, you won't advance as far as you can.
right? It's to give, to advance something, okay? All the little things that we make you do, or hopefully you do for yourself, right, is a little deposit in the bank that makes our team worth more, right? Every one of the character developments, every time you go to the weight room, every time you ask a coach that you don't know how to do something, right? They're little deposits in the bank that make us better. What about consistency? Patterns free from variation. How does that work into trust?
Being consistent with your teammates.
That's, yep, that's right. What do you got, Kurt? Or Kurt, sorry. Sam?
Always being there at the right time, like in the right place at the right time, being there for your people and stuff like that.
So that means that I can always count on Pickle to pick me up in the morning to come to the weight room, right? He never varies, he always gets there, right? And then, if it ever did happen, you know, it's kind of an oddity. But when things happen over and over and over again, then we lose some of this trust, okay? These are some of the components that I had found, okay? So, my definition, and I looked at a lot of things, and I put this together of a whole bunch of things, okay? But is this: trust is a feeling, okay? It is earned through competence, character, and vulnerability over time, which all relationships are based, right? Every one of us in this room have some kind of relationship. Some of it's strong, some of it's weak, some of it's whatever, okay? But we all put a value on what we feel is trust between each other, even probably with the coaches, right? I think Isaiah coming to my room and being vulnerable to come to my room and show his weakness, right? To say what he had to say shows some trust, right? He didn't have to come to my room. He could have just sat back and did nothing, okay? Which leads me into a quote that I got, okay? Trust can take years to get and seconds to lose. You think that's true? Right? I could have you hold my wallet every single day, and I could trust you for 20 years, and the first day you take all my money out and leave my wallet empty, all of a sudden you've kind of broke my trust, right? And it can happen that way, okay? I feel there's two types of trust. There's predictive trust. This is where past behaviors generate future thoughts, what we think about our relationships. Okay? What that means is, I see how you do things, or you see how your friends do things, right? And you already predetermined, like, oh, well, I can't count on that guy. Or I really count on that guy, right? His past things that he's done, right, make it how you feel and trust. Because remember, trust is a feeling. It's your feeling. You might trust Jack, I might not, right? And I don't mean that literally. Jack, I might trust you a lot, okay? But here I think is where our most bang for our buck is. Vulnerable trust, okay? Where decisions are based on leaving ourselves vulnerable, okay? Coach Bernards, who do you trust the most in the whole wide world?
Probably my wife.
Probably his wife. Probably a good answer, his wife's not even here, okay? But, do you think his wife knows more about him and all his weaknesses than anybody else? You don't think his wife knows him the best? Not the better himself, but true, he could trust himself or not trust himself. But he's developed trust with his wife, right? That she knows what he's weak at. She knows this. He's not afraid to admit certain things, and which creates trust, right? Okay? When we can let that go and say, you know what? Ben, you're a pretty good wide receiver, but I'm a wide receiver too, but you're way better than me. You need to show me how you run that smash route, right? Better. Right? That means I'm being vulnerable by saying I'm just not as good as Ben, but I want to be. Right? I might not know what brown and blue is, but some of us, we're so scared to be, like, I do not want to be called out. I don't want to be thought of as weak, that I just don't say anything. So it makes him vulnerable to ask. I don't get what brown and blue is. Can you really tell me what brown and blue is? Because I don't know, right? And then once he knows, is he better? And that happens with each and every one of you, right? Some of you are the dude, right? You're going to be the dude at your spot, and others of you aren't, okay? But it's that you have to give in to what can I do to make myself better. And it might be vulnerable to say that I'm not as good as you, but what can you teach me to do that? What can my coach teach me to do that? Right? And that's where I think our team will explode.
And one of my vulnerabilities is that I have trouble reading and writing. That was my disability. And so that might give you more trustability that you know me more now.
Yeah. That's right. Because I think human nature is that we want to help people. Right? We do. We want to help people that need help. Right? If I don't know how to run Colorado and I don't get what me and you are, okay? If I don't ask any questions and make myself seem like I don't know what that is, because that would make me weak to admit that I don't know, okay? Then we won't be better people. So we have to make ourselves a little vulnerable, okay? To say we don't know everything, okay? Quote, good teams become great ones when the members trust each other enough to surrender the me for we. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Right? When you can admit you don't know everything and quit acting like you do. Right? That's when all of us will be a lot better. Right? Because then that's when we'll explode. You know? Pickle. I mean, tell me how to wrestle. Right? If I was a wrestler, I don't know the flying squirrel. Right? Like if I said I don't know how to do the flying squirrel, yeah, that makes him think he's better than me. But I will never know this flying squirrel unless I ask him. Okay? Oh, a video. What you got?
So, this video is gonna show you guys some weaknesses and some ways, the community also trusts them as well, like in your school.
Play as a team, have some composure, all right? This environment's gonna be a great one, it's gonna be a great one, step up to the plate.
Some of these guys I've been playing with since I was 5 and 6 years old, and it's just a bond, unbreakable bond that will never lose, no matter how far we go apart or how many years we go apart.
There's times I want to quit and just give up, but I keep pushing through, and got guys on my team that just keeps pushing me through it. It makes me a better player.
I love all my teammates. Since we were both captain, they honestly think pretty highly of us. And, you know, I love playing quarterback from the sea. Step 2 captains on offense and 2 on defense. So I trust them on defense. You know, I don't have to worry about the defense. I know they got that. And then me and Martin have control of the offense and leading those guys.
Trust is a good thing. Since we are around each other all the time, we know their move in this situation, how they're going to take it. We can feed off of that to get the energy going. You know, you all have to be best friends. Even if you don't like a guy, you still gotta trust him and expect him to do his job just as good as you would do your job.
I love my school and I love everybody in it. I just make sure that I'm playing for them in my city.
Okay? At your tables, I got 3 questions, and I want you to share with your people at your table. Who is someone in your life you trust, and why do you trust them? Number 2, who on the team do you trust, and why do you trust them? And number 3, how can you make this team come together to be a great trust?
Alright. Alright, tell me. I trust,
just always talking, even I don't ask him
I trust Kishi is cool. Kishi.
Hey guys, no matter where you're at, move on to question 2 so we can keep time a little bit. If you didn't get to answer question 1, that's
3
okay.
minutes. Share with your little group. 3 minutes, and then I got 1 more video for out.
Hold on. Gotta trust them to do their job.
Hey, wind it up, you got 1 minute. Here's the question I'm gonna ask from everybody, a little bit, not all of you, but some. How can you make this team come together to be great through trust? Remember, for us to exponentially get this going, you have to be vulnerable. Think of something, you got 1 minute. Okay, let's bring it back in real quick. Okay? Anybody have anything on what they can do to help this team be better? I don't care if it's even the freshman group.
Austin.
Hold each other accountable.
Hold each other accountable.
Help each other in time of need.
Help each other in time of need. Joe?
To communicate with each other.
Communicate with each other. Jack?
Help each other when we do like something.
Yup.
Clear bus, not very boring.
Okay?
To be vulnerable and help people when they are being vulnerable.
That's right. Be honest with yourself. Okay? Admit when you don't know what you don't know. Okay?
Reminder, this isn't just in football either. This is off the field. This is in the classroom. Like Austin said, like be accountable. Well, if you have classmates, it doesn't even have to be teammates. Like not doing appropriate things in the class. You can ask them to be accountable. Say, hey, this is not how we act here. Right? We act a different way. We treat people with respect. You need to do that. So don't confuse this with just football. I know today has been a lot of football, and it always will be in these types of things, right? Because that's how we relate. But make sure that you're understanding that this is carrying you past football, to the classroom, to work, to life past high school, to your career, whatever that is.
This video is showing how Trust has been using it on the field and basically just in the school. So.
Trust is built little by little, day by day, season by season. Trust that the early mornings in January are worth it for one night in December. Trust that your body will respond even after it has let you down. Trust that while battles can be won alone, it takes everyone to win the war. Trust that the results won't always reward the preparation. Trust that when opportunity comes, each man on that sideline is prepared to seize it. Trust that 99 yards is just a few plays away. Trust that the game is too fast for second thoughts and second guessing. Trust that you're going to get yours, and they're going to get theirs, but only one of you will have the resolve to see it through. Trust that the big victories are worth celebrating, and trust that they're all big victories. Trust that every single detail matters. Trust your teammates. Trust your coaches. Trust your family.
game week.